Yeah. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to your Padma Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Prasad Maji, whenever you're ready, you can start Maji.
Sure, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All to Sri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Nashtaprayeshu apatreshu nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. Today we are reading a Canto 5, Chapter 8, a description of the character of Bharata Maharaj, text 23 to 31. Text 23. After speaking like a madman in this way, Maharaja Bharata got up and went outside. Seeing the footprints of the deer on the ground, he praised the footprints out of love, saying, O unfortunate Bharata, your austerities and penances are very insignificant compared to the penances and austerity undergone by this earth planet. Due to the earth's severe penances, the footprints of this deer, which are small, beautiful, most auspicious, and soft, are imprinted on the surface of this fortunate planet. This series of footprints show a person like me, who am bereaved due to the loss of the deer, how the animal has passed through the forest, and how I can regain my lost wealth. By these footprints, this land has become a proper place for Brahmanas who desire heavenly planets or liberation to execute sacrifices to the demigods. Text 24. Maharaja Bharata continued to speak like a madman. Seeing above his head and dark marks on the rising moon, which resembled like a deer, he said, Can it be that the moon, who is so kind to an unhappy man, might also be kind upon my dear, knowing that it has strayed from home and has become motherless? This moon has given the deer shelter near itself just to protect it from the fearful attacks of a lion. Text 25. After perceiving the moonshine, Maharaja Bharata continued speaking like a crazy person. He said, The deer's son was so submissive and dear to me that due to its separation, I am feeling separation from my own son. Due to the burning fever of this separation, I am suffering as if inflamed by a forest fire. My heart, which is like the lily of the land, is now burning. Seeing me so distressed, the moon is certainly splashing its shining nectar upon me, just as a friend throws water on another friend who has a high fever. In this way, the moon is bringing me happiness. Text 26. Sukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, in this way Bharata Maharaja was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable desire which was manifested in the form of the deer. Due to the fruitive results of his past deeds, he fell down from mystic yoga, austerity, and worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If it were not due to his past fruitive activity, how could he have been attracted to the deer after giving up the association of his own son and family, considering them stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual life? How could he show such uncontrollable affection for a deer? This was definitely due to his past karma. The king was so engrossed in petting and maintaining the deer that he fell down from his spiritual activities. In due course of time, insurmountable death, which is compared to the venomous snake that enters the hole created by a mouse, situated itself before him. Text 27. At the time of death, the king saw the deer was sitting by his side, exactly like his own son, and was lamenting his death. Actually, the mind of the king was absorbed in the body of the deer, and consequently, like those bereft of Krishna consciousness, he left the world, the deer, and his material body and acquired a body of a deer. However, there was an advantage. There was one advantage. Although he lost his human body and received the body of a deer, he did not forget the incidents of his past life. Text 28. Although in the body of the deer, Bharata Maharaja, due to his rigid devotional service in his past life, could understand the cause of his birth in that body. Considering his past and present life, he constantly repented his activities, speaking in the following way. Text 29. In the body of a deer, Bharata Maharaja began to lament. What misfortune I have fallen from the path of the self realized. I gave up my real sons, wife, and home to advance in spiritual life, and I took shelter in a solitary holy place in the forest. I became self controlled and self realized, and I engaged constantly in devotional service, hearing, thinking, chanting, worshipping, and remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. I was successful in my attempt, so much so that my mind was always absorbed in devotional service. However, due to my personal foolishness, my mind again became attached to this time to a deer. Now I have obtained the body of a deer and have fallen far from my devotional practices. Text 30. Although Bharata Maharaja received the body of a deer, by constant repentance, he became completely detached from all material things. He did not disclose these things to anyone, but he left his mother deer in a place known as Kalanjara mountain, where he was born. He again went to the forest of Shalagrama and to the ashrama of Pulastya and Pulaha. Text 31. Remaining in that ashrama, the great king Bharata Maharaja was now very careful not to fall victim to a bad association. Without disclosing his past to anyone, he remained in that ashrama and ate dry leaves only. He was not exactly alone, for he had the association of the Supreme Lord, Supersoul. In this way, he waited for death in the body of a deer, bathing in that holy place. He finally gave up that body. Thus ends the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8, Canto 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Sri Krishna Prabhu, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sundaram Prabhuji. Thank you, Prashanti Mataji, for reading the translation today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidyanuja Bhakti Yogam Siksashramekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripamudit Tamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are continuing this section where the activities of Bharat Maharaj was mentioned. So it was mentioned in the previous chapter that Bharat Maharaj ruled for many thousands of years, basically 10,000 years. So very long time. He had such a great opulence that he was ruling this entire planet, and due to his affection towards Supreme Lord, he wanted to perfect his devotional service, and therefore he took Vanaprastha ashram. So he divided his whole wealth and he walked out of the palace and all his children and beautiful wife. And now in this chapter we are seeing how Bharat Maharaj, after he took Vanaprastha ashram, he went to the ashram of Pulaha ashram close to the Gandaki river. So Gandaki river, you can see it's in North India and close to Nepal, where ISKCON devotees are also trying to build a temple there. So in this Gandaki river, there are a lot of Shaligram Shilas that one can find in the Gandaki river. So Shaligram Silas are none other than Supreme Lord's manifestation in this material world. So you don't need to even do any kinds of um, um, netra samskara, like the installation ceremony for the deities. Saligram Shilas can be worshipped right away. So it is said that Lord resides in the Shaligram Shila. Such was the pious place that he went, and he was doing similar to what he was conducting his life. He was basically waking up early in the morning, cleaning up himself, and then collecting flowers and fruits and performing arati ceremony for the Lord. He is also chanting mantras. So all that he was doing very diligently. But you can see, due to his past karma, that he comes in contact with a deer who is actually just his mother left the small deer and left. At that point, Marat Maharaj basically finds this deer and comes, because of his compassionate nature, he he puts his heart and soul into this, in raising this deer, his small deer, and consequently he develops attachment in protecting this deer from wild animals, and in protecting from the forest, extreme climate, all of these. And also the small deer is very attractive. His movements, his walk, his facial gestures, and all this basically attracted Maharaj Bharat. And especially it is mentioned that because of his past um, karma. So in uh, one instance, my Guru Maharaj used to say that it is due to his um, past offense. Otherwise, Maharaj Bharat was already in the state of bhava. So there is no way that he can fall down. But there was some offense that he did in the past that acted upon him. Uh, so we are continuing from verse number 23 now. So Bharat Maharaj, now he couldn't see this deer, and he's seeing that there is some extreme weather. So for a long time he didn't see the deer. So he was contemplating what would have happened, and he, uh, being a king, he's obviously is very poetic. So he started reciting some poetical verses um, upon the deer. So he's praising the footprints of the deer, and how um, how the Bharat Maharaj, he is saying that his austerities and penances are insignificant compared to this earth planet, because the footprints of the deer are so beautiful and auspicious, it's falling on the earth planet. So like this, he's very poetically singing his attachment towards the deer. So this is a sign of that he completely, his heart is completely in that deer, and he's pretty much following every moment of the deer, and he is contemplating. So this is a sign of how the consciousness completely shifts towards another person. So here, Prabhupada says, quotes a verse in Smriti Shastra. Says, Yasmin they say, Mruga Krishnas, Tasmin Dharman Ivodatha. So basically, the meaning says, this tract of land wherein the footprints of a black deer can be seen is to be understood as a suitable place to execute religious rituals. So in the Shastra also, it seems there is a verse that says, wherever the black deer footprints are there, and that place is suitable to execute religious rituals. So here also, Prabhupada is quoting one example how we can become blind sometimes by blind love. So one time, one man, his son was blind since birth, but his father was so attached and affectionate, he named him as Padma Lochana, lotus-eyed. So this is an example that Prabhupada is giving, how the love can be blind when, regardless of the actual fact, if you fall in love with somebody, then you can be completely blind. So we may think here it's just the deer, what is so great about it. But when you fall in love, then you tend to get attracted, similar to the household pets. People get so much attracted that if you say anything, or if you hurt the pet, it feels like you have hurt them. So they take it very seriously. So the same thing. So here Bharat Maharaj also, he's going on, and now he's comparing how the moon shine. So here he's saying that the rising moon, in the moon there is some dots, right? So he's seeing that dots as like the footprints of the deer, and he's also saying how the deer is motherless. Now the moon is trying to give shelter and trying to protect from the fearful attacks of lion. So he's comparing the moon. So basically, whatever he is seeing, he's remembering the deer. Um, so he's also showing how the moon sign is because of separation from the deer. He's just like feeling separation from his own son. And if you feel separation from somebody, sometimes you get high fever. So here he is also saying that he's burning in separation, and he's having this high fever. And then so there seems to be one um, so one in the high fever, there seems to be some like a Vedic Ayurvedic solution treatment, that one should splash water after gargling with this water. One should splash, and then the fever feels subside. So here also Maharaj Bharat is saying that the moon is splashing his nectarian shining waves, so that my fever will subside because of separation from this deer. So basically, so every scene, every vision, Bharat Maharaj is contemplating his separation from the deer. So now Sukadeva Goswami is the verse number 26. So he specifically says, here also he says that due to the fruitive results of his past deeds, he fell down from mystic yoga, austerity, in worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Prabhupada makes several points that, he obviously in Brahma Samhita, he says that karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. So for those engaged in devotional service, bhakti bhajana, the results of past deeds are indemnified. So Prabhupada says, how could Bharat Maharaj past deeds have actually played a role here? How is that possible? Because he is already in the bhava stage. So according to this, Bharat Maharaj could not be punished for his past deeds. So the conclusion must be that Bharat Maharaj purposefully became over addicted to the deer and neglected his spiritual advancement. To immediately rectify his mistake, for a short time he was awarded the body of a deer. So here, so we can understand that one who is involved in the bhakti process, his consciousness gets elevated so high that there is no scope of losing that because of some past sinful activities. Sinful activities have no role. Sinful activities completely gets dissolved. Even just chanting one name of Krishna, like Shastra says. So in that case, how can the sinful activities which he has done in past? So it's not because of sinful activities. Here, some like my Gurumar used to say, some aparad that he did. But even then, that aparad is only for a short time. He was awarded the body of a deer, just for a short time. And then, even in the body of a deer, he did not forget his previous life so that he could continue his journey. So, that was the special mercy of the Supreme Lord. And he is also, Prabhupada also says that in Vrindavan, many animals, dogs, monkeys, and tortoise, they just roam around the holy land because of some past, deeds that they have taken that form for a short while, and then after giving up the animal form, they will be promoted to spiritual world. So it's a very glorious statement that Prabhupada makes, and such is the power of devotional service. So, and then verse number 27, the king, basically, after all this lamentation, he was just seeing that the deer was sitting by his side. But at that time, he was about to leave his body, and somehow or other, the deer came back and was just sitting by his side, just like a son lamenting the death of a father. So, when the father was leaving the body, the son will be sitting next to him. And at that time, so similar situation is happening here. Like he was so much attached to the deer. Now the deer came back and sitting by the side of the king, Bharat Maharaj. So now at that moment, he left this world, he left the body, and then he acquired a body of a deer. So obviously, acquiring a body of a deer means he entered into the womb of another deer. The soul entered into the womb of another deer, and then eventually he'll be born as a small baby deer. So, but here by the mercy of Krishna, he remembered the whole pastime of what happened in his previous life. So, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam chajeti ante kalevaram tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. So, this is the verse that is confirming what will happen at the time of the death. So Prabhupada quoting this verse, mentioning that Bharat Maharaj, according to this verse, he attained the same consciousness. So whatever consciousness he was there, he attained the same destiny, meaning same body. So here, so in the verse number 28, so now Bharat Maharaj, because of his past devotional service activities, he could understand the cause of his birth in that body. So it's very vividly, graphically, he was able to understand, oh, because of my attachment to the deer, now I was born as a deer. So obviously, he will be extremely careful this time. So he repented his activities and he took some practical steps. So what did he do? So in the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj, he started to lament, and he started to contemplate, because of my path for self-realization, I left my whole kingdom, palace, wife, children, and took shelter of a very secluded place in the forest, spiritual place. But still, I got attached to this deer. So now he was basically, after contemplating all this, now he has taken some decisions. So what is that? He basically he left his mother deer. So in the young age, to leave the shelter of a mother is a very brave decision, right? So he took this decision and he again went to the same Pulaha ashrama, and in the association of sages, he Pulasya and Pulaha Ashrama, there he basically it was said he only ate dry leaves. So even he was trying to control his sensual activities in the body of a deer also, so that he could not get attached again. So now Bharat Maharaj, this is all again the mercy of Vasudeva. He remembered his past life and he did not waste any moment, even a moment it seems. And so here also Prabhupada is emphasizing how association is so important. So because of this principle only, ISKCON is trying to uh, perfect anyone who enters this society of ISKCON, he also gets the association of devotees, and therefore therefore Prabhupada is encouraging all the members should be very careful to execute their spiritual duties, so that whoever comes will automatically becomes a devotee. So he's saying both ways. If the devotees within ISKCON are very pure and spiritual, anyone who comes in contact with the devotees, they will naturally become purified and they will become spiritual. So therefore it is a duty of the members of ISKCON to keep the ISKCON society very spiritual and pure. So one time Prabhupada was asked by the media people. The media people asked Prabhupada, so after you leave this planet, what will happen to your movement? And Prabhupada didn't say that some particular person will take over, or he didn't say anything. He said, if you gold always have a market for it. So we just have to keep the moment pure as gold. So that's all he said. He said gold always have market. So his point is, if his disciples would conduct his activities in a path that he laid out, they would be considered as gold, and there will be always market for Krishna consciousness, which is pure. So that was his point. So similarly here also, Prabhupada, if you keep the society pure, and anyone who comes in contact with the society, they will also be purified. So and then the last verse number 31, Bharat Maharaj stayed in the Pulaha ashrama, and then he was very careful not to fall victim to bad association. So here again, it was mentioned, pratikshamanaha sangat cha brasham. So for association, so even in the body of a deer, the association is so important. So what to speak of the human life? Because the human life, it was said that human life, we cannot even identify who is everyone is human like form, like two hands, two legs, human like form. But in the animal form, at least you can identify who's lion, who's tiger, and all that. So in the human form, we have to be even more careful to avoid bad association. So and then at the same time, he ate only dry leaves. So and also it was mentioned that he was not feeling alone because he had the association of the super soul. So it was mentioned here, Muruga Sariram Tirthodaka Klinan Uts Sa Sar Klinam Utsarjaha. So he was basically in that deer's body. He waited till the death of the body. Basically, he means the soul waited till the death of the body. Um, so he was bathing in the holy place. So in the Gandaki river, he was basically bathing. and it said finally that he gave up that body. Utsar Utsasarja gave up that body. So, so Prabhupada confirms that in the places like holy places like this happened in the in close to Haridwar in the North India. So he's saying holy places like Vrindavan, Haridwar, Prayaga, Jagannath Puri. So in any other, all the holy places are meant for executing devotional service. So Vrindavan is especially most exalted and preferred holy place for Vaishnava devotees of Lord Krishna who are aspiring to return back to Godhead to the Vaikuntha planets. So, so here by constantly chanting and hearing the holy names and pastimes of the Supreme Lord, one certainly becomes purified and becomes a fit candidate for liberation. However, if one purposefully falls victim to sense gratification, he has to be punished at least for one lifetime, like Bharat Maharaj. So it's very crisp and perfect message here. So there is every possibility of purifying in the devotional service, and devotional service, he doesn't. Devotional service takes us to the highest platform of Krishna prema, and purification of sinful tendencies is actually a byproduct of devotional service. It is not even a goal of devotional service. So we can understand that the power of devotional service is so high that we don't have to even worry about these tendencies of sense gratification. It will automatically fall away. So that is the message that Prabhupada is saying. But however, we have to be very careful. We have to be very vigilant. So that is the message. At least if we fall down, then at least one lifetime of like Bharat Maharaj, there will be a repercussion, there will be a reaction. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Anandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.